In a bustling high school, our main character, a shy and awkward student, finds himself in one unexpected situation after another. It all starts when he accidentally walks in on his teacher in a very compromising moment. He tries to leave, but fate seems to have other plans, throwing him into a whirlwind of awkward and hilarious encounters with his strict and often intimidating teacher. The tension between them is immediate, creating moments that are both hilarious and uncomfortable. But these accidental meetings might just change everything for both of them. Our protagonist is not your typical hero. He's nervous, constantly worrying about what might go wrong next, and trying his best to avoid trouble. But despite his best efforts, he always finds himself right in the middle of it. The teacher, on the other hand, is stern and no-nonsense, with a reputation for being one of the strictest at school. But as time goes on, we see a different side to her, one that's more vulnerable and even kind at times. Their interactions are awkward, full of misunderstandings and unintentional comedy. But through these moments, something begins to change between them. Scene after scene, the comedy ramps up. Whether it's tripping over a stray ball, falling into a closet, or getting caught in the rain together, every moment seems to bring them closer in the most unexpected ways. In one instance, our protagonist ends up trapped in a small room with his teacher, and the tension between them is almost too much to handle. He tries to make small talk, but his awkwardness only makes things worse, leading to even more embarrassing moments. You can almost feel his desperation to escape, but at the same time, there's a growing curiosity between them. What exactly is it that keeps pulling them into these situations? And just when you think the awkward moments are over, they find themselves together again. This time, it's during a school event where the teacher is in charge. She's focused, serious, and trying to maintain order, but our main character accidentally causes chaos. They end up alone again, this time in a quiet corner of the school, where they have a rare chance to actually talk. It's here that we start to see a different side of the teacher, one that's more human and less strict. She lets down her guard just a little, and he starts to realize that maybe she's not as unapproachable as he thought. But why do these moments keep happening? Is it just bad luck? Or is there something more behind these constant encounters? As they keep bumping into each other, they start to understand one another better. The teacher sees beyond his clumsiness, recognizing his kind nature, while he starts to see the pressures she faces every day. Yet, even with this growing understanding, their interactions remain awkward and unpredictable, keeping both of them, and us, on our toes. One day, things take a more serious turn. Our protagonist notices that his teacher seems more stressed than usual. She's dealing with something personal, but of course, she doesn't show it to anyone. In a surprising move, he offers to help, and she reluctantly accepts. This marks a turning point for them, as they work together and start to see each other in a new light. The barriers between student and teacher begin to blur, and they both realize they might have more in common than they thought. Yet, even as their relationship changes, the awkward moments don't stop. At a school field trip, the two get separated from the group and find themselves in an unfamiliar part of town. He's nervous, but she tries to keep calm, guiding him as they find their way back. It's a rare moment where they rely on each other, and it shows just how far their dynamic has come. The journey back is filled with small talk, a few laughs, and a new kind of tension that's not just about embarrassment anymore. It feels like something deeper is beginning to form. But can this strange relationship really go anywhere? What happens when they're no longer bound by these awkward coincidences? These questions linger as they continue to navigate the ups and downs of their interactions. The story is filled with laughs and surprises, but underneath it all, there's a sense that something genuine might be growing between them. As the season progresses, their bond grows, and they find themselves relying on each other more and more. He becomes more confident around her, while she starts to open up about her own insecurities. The lighthearted tone never disappears, but there's a new depth to their interactions. It's clear that both of them have changed, even if they're not quite sure how to define it. Their journey is far from over, and with each new encounter, we're left wondering how their story will unfold. Will they ever be able to express their true feelings, or will their awkwardness keep getting in the way? One thing is for sure, this unlikely pair has a lot more to discover about each other and themselves. As their story reaches its peak, we see them sharing more sincere moments. But just as things seem to settle, a new challenge arises, testing the bond they've built. They have to face it together, and in doing so, they come to understand just how much their encounters have meant. It's a story of unlikely connections, filled with laughter, heartfelt moments, and the kind of awkwardness that somehow brings people closer together. If you've been enjoying this story so far, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to comment below on what you think will happen next between this mismatched duo. Will they find a way to make their connection last, or will life keep pulling them in different directions?